In association with Official Wrestling comes A Few Good Marks podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final A Few Good Marks of 2018. I'm your host Kieran, and I'm joined by Candy, Pete,
Shaft,
Alex, Josh,
Pendulum,
and
Willow,
Pirate ship.
Willow. Pirate ship Willow.
That's Roman Reigns.
So,
No, he's a farmer.
oh my god. So, this is our final episode of 2018, and it is, of course, time for the Markys. Everyone's favourite time of the year. Much the same as last year, we're going to go through all of our categories, and then we'll go around one by one. We'll say a nomination for said category, and then debate as to who we think the worthy winner is. Yeah. It was over relatively quick last year.
I was pre-warned about this.
It was an hour last year, but there was less of us to debate.
This is true. But then some of us may have the same one. The same. We'll see. Anyway, kicking things off with the segment of the year. Candy, what have you got?
Nothing.
Fantastic. Josh, what have you got?
I have this is going to be weird because I couldn't think of anything. Dean Ambrose burns his shield jacket. That promo he did on the car, which was a really good promo.
Okay.
Couldn't think of anything else.
For Willow.
Got nothing, I couldn't think of one.
For Pete.
I went for the SmackDown women invading Raw.
Oh.
So did I.
Alex got the same. I went for...
Was this when Bucky got her nose broke?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I went for, and I'm actually being genuine with this, genuinely the Roman Reigns retirement segment, because like it was just
Segments of the year.
segment of the year. No, like for its implementation.
Alex,
No,
I wish people could see the face Alex is pulling right now. It's the face she pulls when she thinks of spots in a match.
I'm giving this a segment of the year because it was so heartfelt and it was so moving. Like it was just and like you know, and like even the little details of like where Roman like somebody shouted like "you still suck," and then he's like the little smile, and it's like, oh, this isn't gonna happen for a while. It was a granted the grand scheme of things, you know, you wouldn't ever want anyone to have to cut a promo like that or to have a segment like that, but I just think like the way it was
Who are me softly, brother? Big
yeah, it was
Intensive match.
My vote goes for the women invading Raw.
Yeah, my vote goes for that.
Sorry.
okay.
Well,
I agree with what you're saying that it was a dead heartfelt moment, but I wouldn't quite give it an award just because of the
implications of it.
what it
A man's
was.
got a life-threatening disease.
Leukemia intensifiers.
Yeah, what I said was bad. That was worse. I've only just realised that now. So it would appear that the women invading.
Yeah, I go for the women.
So is that unanimous?
Yeah.
I mean, we said literally nothing about it, but yeah. Sure.
I mean, yeah. So fill us in. Well, I mean, yeah, they've won it. So.
Moving swiftly on.
Ladies, it's in the post.
I went for that because it kind of helped cement Becky Lynch with where she's
I
at.
agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she looked badass as fuck when she had the broken nose.
She sure did.
Absolutely.
Cold, basically.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Botch of the Year. Candy, what have you got?
I thought the obvious answer is Will Ospreay botching his Spanish fly on the apron.
On the apron,
and busting his entire face open.
Yeah.
But the one I'm actually going for is way back at the Royal Rumble. And Sasha Banks was in the corner, not kicking, like just doing raw kicks in the corner, but not connecting with anything. On the hard cam, it was so obvious.
So obvious. Josh?
I have put Brie Bella, 1 for knocking out Liv Morgan,
Yeah.
and 2 them suicide dives.
No,
She did, and she's fucked up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot Croft's segment of the year nomination.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Which was PIY at Survivor Series, which is Drake Maverick pissing himself. He has also sent me.
I'm glad he's not here.
He has sent me an explanation for it.
Why
So,
the pissing part.
No, it was like When brought up, please note that I find it funny because it's utterly surreal to see someone piss themselves in 2018 on WWE pay-per-view. In an age where WWE taking itself far too seriously, most of the time I viewed it as a refreshing change of pace.
Fair enough.
Very much like Croft. I mean, it's still not
going
going
to
to win,
vote for it.
but there we go. Anyway, sorry, botch the year. You're saying?
The Brie Bella suicide dives are knocking out Liv Morgan.
Oof, yeah, pretty bad. Pretty bad. Willow.
I have a classic, Titus O'Neil.
Titus Titus World
Because that was this year. Fucking hell.
Yeah, man. Pete, what have you got?
I went for the tag team Survivor Series match on the pre-show. They were watching botch after botch after botch.
Yeah, it was. I remember
So just that match.
Oh god, Alex.
I had Brie Bella's suicide dive, but I'm changing it
To
to Titus World Slide.
Croft has also got Sasha's terrible kicks in the Rumble.
So bad.
And I have personally gone for Titus World Slide.
Hey.
Absolutely. I think it's got to be Titus.
That was so funny.
It was
That was just
for like the amount of even like
He even made a gimmick out of it.
yeah, and for where it came in that match, it was so boring, and even the commentators were falling asleep, and then like they just couldn't believe what they'd seen.
The commentary made it.
did that
like,
just
it was like,
like Michael
let's
Cole?
move on, and then they bring up the replays. Like, okay, let's not.
I think
It's fucking brilliant.
He went and stiffed everyone in the match. And Daniel Bryan was like, where the fuck are you stiffing me? And then they showed the replay and went, oh, let him off.
I think this is a clear winner, don't you?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2018 Markys winner for Botch of the Year is Titus World Slide. Titus, it's in the post. I started saying that last year and I can't seem to stop, so I thought it'd be a nice gimmick to continue saying it this year. So, next up is Breakout Wrestler of the Year, Candy.
I have got.
Oh shit, I didn't do this one.
Oh, yes you did.
As this may carry on, you may realise I didn't watch a whole lot of WWE this year, so mostly Japan. So I've gone for Sanada.
Oh, excellent. So this is the thing, I know what you're talking about this year.
Yeah.
I know you're on
We
about.
talked about this in the G1, and that is mostly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like he won last year's World Tag League with Evil, won this year's World Tag League with Evil, and he had a title match with Okada earlier in the year. But his G1, it's like he was in the toughest block. He was with Omega and Naito and Ishii and
Sabre Jr.
Ibushi, Zack Sabre Jr. But night after night, Sanada was the match you were looking forward to.
Yeah.
And like he came out of nowhere because he doesn't have a whole lot of singles matches, and this just proves like bloody hell if this guy goes into a singles push.
Yeah,
he can hold his own.
his match with Zack Sabre Jr. in the G1 is one of my favourite matches.
It's an honourable mention for me for match of the year.
It's
That one.
fucking fantastic. I remember us just gushing about that on the G1 review. Josh, who have you got?
I have put Buddy Murphy. For someone who's
nice.
did fuck all in
Nice.
NXT for years, he's like become one of my favourite wrestlers.
Nice.
He's fucking beautiful.
Willow.
The Velveteen Dream.
Nice. Yeah, very nice. And Pete?
I went for Tommaso Ciampa. I think since he's become champ, he's been on fucking top of his
He's
game.
been on fire. Alex.
Okay, so mine's a weird one, so I feel like I need to explain it before I thingy. So,
Okay.
It's not Alexis Falcon, is it?
The jacket's
yeah,
one
it
of the Young
is.
Bucks.
Now I'm messing. So, what I did was, you said breakout style of the year. So, I know that most people are going to go for someone who's maybe not been so popular and now has maybe got a little bit popular, but I actually went for Cody Rhodes. Because if you think of the last run he had in WWE before he left, even to the point of just when he was getting started back up on the indie scene again, he didn't have a great run. He was very pushed out, no one really cared. He was doing the whole
Yeah, like he had like a match with Kurt
Stardust
Angle, but other
gimmick.
than that,
Yeah, it
it's
was-
no one cared.
It was getting no one really cared about him, and now he's one of the hottest things in wrestling today. So
Yes.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes, fair enough. Croft, predictably, not a thing on Croft, has gone for Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
I was going to go for Drew
think
McIntyre, but I
Drew
thought he was
is
already
also-
a pretty big star.
Yeah.
He's also sent me. Drew has been on fire since getting called up, and has only been pinned once by Balor, now twice. And I expect him to win the Rumble and be the world champion by Mania. That's Croft
So
for
major
you.
spoilers for SmackDown Christmas.
Mine.
Which one? I want to know. I've seen
Does
one.
somebody drop
I
an
can
elbow?
say it on this because it will have happened.
Yeah, go ahead, because this just builds suspense. in my mind.
Congratulations to Rusev
Yeah.
on winning.
Oh yeah, of course. I could have.
WWE spot
Welcome
that
to
as
the
well.
party.
Yeah, well done, Rusev. My choice for breakout superstar of 2018 is Ronda Rousey.
Look at Alex's eyes. Was it
Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey debuts at WrestleMania, becomes women's champion, and continues to get better and better.
Is this not the same person that was pissed off when she debuted after the first ever Women's Royal Rumble?
No, that was Croft.
Because she was going, let them have their moment.
That was
Alright, okay,
Croft.
fair.
That was Croft.
When you put it like that, yeah, fair play.
I was in that as well. I hated it when she debuted at the Rumble, but
I was the one.
Over
I
the-
was the one fighting her corner saying,
Yeah,
"Give her
you kinda
time.
were.
Give them time."
over
and they
the
played
years
it
she
right.
has proved that she can handle herself. She has proved to be one of the best wrestlers. That we have.
Yeah, and so I think it's I think Ronda. Fight me.
I think we've actually got a lot of good choices here.
There is a lot of good choices. I'd say Drew. Drew's had a good year, but he's been in WWE before,
Yeah, I
and
think-
he
yeah.
pretty much rose to had his breakout year when he came back to ICW, and has built on that since. So I'm sorry, Croft, and you're not here to argue
I agree.
either.
I'd almost
Sonada's
argue the same with Cody as well, because he was.
yeah,
He had a
He
shit,
has-
few
he has been
years,
and a good- yeah.
but he has done good stuff.
yeah, exactly, and he's been
Well,
IC champion
yeah.
and stuff like that as well. So I'd say Cody's out.
I listened to last night. I listened to last year's Markys, and we talked a lot about Velveteen Dream on that one.
Yeah.
and his feud of Aleister Black. So I feel it was more of the end of.
Yeah,
last
he's
year's
had. Don't get me wrong. He's had
broadcast to this one.
because that was like his first takeover as well, and he made such a massive impact that that we were forced to talk about him at that time because it was very relevant.
Yeah.
It's just that this, like, over the past year, he's cemented it. Had he have won the A title, I think he'd be a lot higher up the list. But I still don't think that he's up there, even with like the likes of Ronda or even Sonada.
I think-
Sonada's a very close second for me.
I'm gonna rule out Sonada from the ones that we've mentioned only because he had a great month.
Yeah,
It was probably the best month anyone's ever had in Japan.
yeah. So
But
who's
he's not
left
really
on the
fought
table?
I don't
Ciampa,
think.
I still had.
Ciampa.
What was yours?
I can
put him in.
concede Ciampa.
See, because even
Yeah.
Ciampa for the same reasons of Drew. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Can I be really honest?
Yeah.
I don't think Ronda.
I don't think
Why
we're
not?
there.
And I know that you're going to be like, oh, you would.
No. Go on. Why not?
But she was already massive. In
She
fact,
already was a star,
in fact,
Yeah,
it
that's
is
true.
arguable
Bloody
that she's.
Murphy.
It's actually arguable that she's gone down since joining WWE. So that's for that reason.
True,
I'd
but
say
it's
it.
but like we're talking in terms of wrestling, aren't we?
No, I know, but she already had
drew
star
out.
power.
Yeah, but in terms of like proving out to everyone that she can wrestle, and you know, like when she come in and she's had like that, the same sort of, you know, and people said the exact same thing about Kurt Angle
Rousey.
when he came in because he was a breakout star of that year when he debuted. You know what I mean? So I personally I think that it's Ronda.
I'll say Buddy Murphy.
I
Oh,
just said
thanks,
Buddy
lads.
Murphy.
Buddy Murphy.
He
Buddy
was-
Murphy
I-
Murphy is the
Fuck all.
only one we can say genuinely
Has broke
has
out.
broke
Broken
out.
out.
He wasn't a star last year, like nobody.
And now
cared.
No one cared.
And now look at him.
Cruiserweight
People
champion.
cared about Ronda Rousey the minute she came on
To
because
be
she's Ronda Rousey.
to be fair.
You say
In terms of
he
an
has had a
actual
breakout. You say
breakout.
now look at him. He's still on the pre-show. As, like,
Yeah, but
the
he's
opening
champion. He was in
match.
fuck all if he was on TV
and
in
people
like 2 years.
know it.
And he's
people know
only
where
he's
it is
only on
now.
the pre-show because the
Cruiserweight.
Cruiserweight Championship is the pre-show championship.
And he hasn't had a bad match since he's gone to it.
Yeah, he hasn't. I ain't seen him have a bad
I'm going
match.
to make a prediction for maybe next year's breakout star, the way things are going, Mustafa Ali.
Oh, why were you going to have him on that
He was
team,
my
man?
original one, and I crossed him out.
Yeah, the terrible. He should beat Daniel Bryan clean.
Yeah.
We will find out in 12 months' time.
But because
If
it's
you're
happened
from the
so late
future,
on the
tell
year,
us.
that's why I thought, because he's only just started having a good run the last like couple of months. So I was like, it's too late on in the year.
No, you know what? I will concede to Buddy Murphy.
Thank you, lads.
I will concede to Buddy Murphy.
Buddy
So Buddy Murphy, ladies and gentlemen, your 2018 Markys winner for Breakout Wrestler of the Year is Buddy Murphy. Buddy, it's in the post.
Yeah, that was a good pick.
Very
Well
good
done.
pick. And good debate, people. Good debate.
Thank you, sir.
Next up, we have Best Talker. So, Candy, who have you got for Best Talker?
I gave an honourable mention to Jay White, who his promos have basically led to him. He's now the leader of the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Not on his wrestling, more on his talking.
I
But
haven't seen Bullet Club. What's it
Jay White is leader of the Bullet Club.
I haven't really been paying attention. I say, oh shit, that's good.
But I've gone for Juice Robinson,
Oh,
who
okay.
and Kevin Owens tweeted in June. The tweet was, Juice Robinson, best promo in the world.
Well, there you go. High praise. High praise indeed.
Yeah, I just got a few quotes about him being the first.
His research.
I have, yeah. About him being the first US champion in New Japan. He said, "It's an American belt. I'm an American. It's on America's birthday. Who needs that belt? And America needs that belt. Well, guess what? I'm going to be coming into San Francisco, red, white, and blue, sparklers shooting out of my nipples and launching bald eagles out of my ass."
Brilliant.
He's got plenty more like that. He's just so enjoyable. He can just do whatever the fuck he wants.
I find
He's
him weak. 'Cause
constantly swearing.
he was alright in NXT. He was like CJ Barth, but like he's just like he disappeared for a bit and then showed up in New Japan.
Yeah, it was a bit weird. He
Right,
just
okay.
came up. But he has a promo in June talking about when he left NXT, and Canyon Ceman said to him like, "CJ Parker, go out there and make yourself a star." And he was like, "I am damned on my way to live up to his words.
Oh,
and
that's nice.
I'm trying to make myself a star, Canyon Ceman."
Good old Seaman.
Moving swiftly on, Josh, who have you got for
I
best
have
talker?
put Elias.
Oh,
Because he constantly, every week, was just cutting a promo on crowds and being fucking entertaining.
Yeah, nice. Willow, best talker.
I sort of struggle to think of this one. So I'll just sort of put Jericho, but
For
in retrospect, I feel
he does
like
have
I
a
would've
podcast, so he does a lot
Yeah,
of talking.
I feel like I should have put Tama Tonga.
Oh, Tom Tonga would be a
Yeah.
good shout. That guy can talk.
Yeah.
That's not a bad
He
shout
knows
at all.
his English. That man can talk. He can move his lips. So
It's
can
more
Alex in a
than
taxi.
more than Alex can do. Pete.
Again, I struggle as well. Honourable mentions. Paul Heyman, who I think we had last year.
Yeah, he won it last
Paul.
year.
Always,
Yeah.
but I
Did
don't
Paul
think-
win it last year?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I don't think he's been around enough, maybe.
No.
Kind of quiet.
Jericho as well, but I'm going to get this one to Elias as well.
Oh, okay. Alex,
I just went for a classic, The Miz.
for the Miz.
I had the Miz and I was like, oh, you know what? Fucking Elias.
He's a classic. He'll never get old.
You know, it did cross my mind actually was Daniel Bryan. But
Yeah, he's probably
only in the
something
last
to-
like month or
Yeah,
two.
exactly. Croft has unsurprisingly gone for Velveteen Dream. And backs it up by saying, Dream as best talker is a given, to be honest. Godly charisma and the ability to shine in a feud with anyone so far and makes his opponent look like $1,000,000 through his in-ring work, but especially his words on the mic. And I would have to agree with Croft, best talker Velveteen Dream. I think in all of his feuds, you look at his feud with Ricochet, his feud with Cassie Sono, and his feud with Tommaso Ciampa, especially just out of those three, Velveteen Dream's been
I'd agree with that.
phenomenal.
Yeah, that's true.
I would agree with that.
Absolutely
The
phenomenal.
thing with Elias, I like Elias, but it's the same shtick every week.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
slightly changed up.
Yeah.
Whereas Velveteen, like different people,
And he tailors it
has a
to
completely
like
different
you look
style.
at his styles compared to Ricochet and Cassie Sono. There were two completely different things. So
I think both are strong contenders, both Dream and
Elias.
Yeah.
Elias.
Elias did
And-
get the most heel heat this year by
Yeah.
saying about Seattle best
Yeah,
football team
that
moving away.
was, yeah.
They are
And-
fucking bitter about that.
The way,
It's been
the way
10
Yeah, but that's
It's been
but
10
you're telling me
years,
that
Seattle.
but anyone in that given in that given
Anyone could have said
situation-
that line.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to have to go with
In fact,
Elias.
it might have even been Kevin Owens that said that line because he was sat next to him. I don't remember who actually
It was
had
Elias.
that.
It was
Was
Elias,
Elias?
but I'm going to have to go with Elias. Because I think the fact that he comes out and sings a different song every week rather than just do the generic, I'm going to beat his ass and I'm going to...
Your football team sucks.
Yeah, like he makes a song out of it. So if I have to pick a overall winner, I would say Elias.
So you're going Elias. So we're gonna do. Let's go to a vote. All those for Elias. All those for Velveteen Dream.
Bollocks.
Velveteen Dream, mate. It's in the post. Well done. Next up is Tag Team of the Year. Candy, who have you got, mate?
I've got the Young Bucks.
Yes!
Fair enough. Josh, who have you got?
Yeah, the Young Bucks.
Willow.
I've got War Machine.
Ooh,
Yeah.
the War
Don't
Raiders.
you change your mind.
War Raiders. The War Raiders in NXT.
I struggle with this. I went for Undisputed Era.
Okay.
Fuck, I forgot about them. That's a good choice.
Undisputed Era.
Sorry,
That's
but
not a tag
for
team.
those who don't know, Alexis Falcon and Azazel, aka Alex and Pete, tag this year and stole about 7 of the Young Bucks moves.
Yeah, because you wanted to.
It's because of you.
he could have said
didn't
no.
want-
He could have said no.
He couldn't have said
He
no.
doesn't say
That's
no.
all we honest. He couldn't have said no.
No, yes, he could have, because I was like, do you like this spot? Do you like this spot? And he was like, yes, certain.
Or was he not just saying that because you know if you said no?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
fucking
well,
did.
You're
it's
gonna
not
fucking
you.
yeah, just go walk off in anger.
I don't really think I need to ask Alex.
yourself, you prick.
I mean, I like the spots, but it's just
I don't
not
really-
my cup of tea.
Alex, I don't really need to ask you who you've got for tag team of the year, do I?
I need to say it anyway.
Oh, go on then.
The bar.
The bar. So,
The Usos.
Epico and Primo.
Just kidding. The Young Bucks.
Alex has got the
What was that,
opposite.
Bludgeon Brothers?
The Young Bizzles.
Croft has gone for Undisputed Era. And I think I really struggled with this, so I just went for New Day. It's just they've had a good year. They've had a
Not
good
really
year.
a tag team because they're a 4-man.
It's still it's tag team stable sort of thing. So
Yes.
NWO.
Josh.
Yeah, you're referring
just to read.
O'Reilly
Jackson.
and Strong
Yeah.
as the tag team.
We'll do it.
So just to read out Croft's defense of why he picked Undisputed Era. So Undisputed Era have grown on me massively and even made me indifferent towards Roderick Strong, which is fucking saying something.
He's
really is.
Hates Roger Strong.
Does he?
Yeah.
Much better than most teams on the roster, and have had a very successful year, holding the NXT titles for the majority of the year, which is true because only our boys, Mustache Mountain, were the only ones to beat them for the titles all year long.
Oh shit.
I believe something like that. But yeah, so it would appear we are at a pass between the Young Bucks and Undisputed Era.
Can I just...
Yeah, go
Well,
on.
right.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. The most successful tag team outside of WWE. Their own brand coming soon. Wink face for those who can't see.
We've had a script
All
here
in.
on this podcast.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Dives.
Yeah, so
super-
Zoe tips.
So tips
I
to me.
don't need to
Woman
say
layers.
what they do, but
Tell me five.
they are so over.
Hey!
It's unreal. And I refuse to believe that there's a better tag team than those two.
Headlined the first ever wrestling cruise as well.
I mean, Epico and Primo.
Yeah, exactly.
The first ever wrestling cruise.
Yeah, Jericho's cruise.
That was not the first ever wrestling cruise.
Okay, well, you know.
Look at fucking Mr.
There we
History.
go.
Oh, go on.
Like,
Sorry, son.
Well, WCW
Samuel
had him
Gotch.
all throughout the 90s.
Oh,
WWF had him in the 90s.
well, there you
That's
go.
where Jericho got the idea. He wasn't the man who invented wrestling on a
No,
boat.
Jericho's on.
He was on
Jericho
a
was on a boat.
wrestling.
Jericho's performing on the Kiss cruise, and that tour is like you could put a ring on here.
But anyway, they headlined the most recent
Most recent
on a cruise.
I have
cruise of
honestly never
2018.
seen- I have honestly never seen the Young Bucks have a bad match. Fair enough, they're not everyone's cup of tea. Fair enough, some people are like, oh yeah, but they do a little bit too much. They never miss a beat, no matter who they are in the ring with. They never miss a beat. Everything they do is crisp. Everything is their fundamentals. For the two in the room
Big
are on
up.
point.
They are.
And even people who preach about
Two in the room.
fundamentals have said that the Young Bucks have good fundamentals.
They do have good fundamentals. They're
Get me the
brilliant.
radiator or a cooling bag because I can already smell the heat. But yeah,
Get me a radiator.
Give me a radiator. You're not getting enough heat
Fucking
already.
Terry
Well,
Weasley,
you would know
wouldn't
about that.
Get me a giant Santa Claus that's lit up.
So,
The thing with Young Bucks
Go on.
and
Undisputed.
yeah, thank you very much.
Shocking rock.
Is that Undisputed Era have they're in WWE system, they're in NXT. Young Bucks are independent, but they still feel like the bigger stars. Yeah.
can you imagine the pop if they did come to WWE?
I'd cry.
That's what I mean. Like a lot of people who don't watch WWE.
Oh no,
now,
no, sorry. I'd
What?
cry like, oh fuck, why? I hate that.
Oh no, they super kicked Triple H at the end of the last
Yeah,
Yeah.
being the elite.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not coming
They're
back.
not. Did you see the note that said, "Unfortunately, we've seen what you've done with your tag team,
Oh,
so
yeah.
we will have to politely decline your request at this time."
Love it.
Like they have their own show which has like hundreds and hundreds of thousands
Yeah,
of views every
loads.
week. They're hilarious. They're the kind of people I want to go out for a drink with. The boss.
They don't drink.
I love them.
They don't do alcohol, as Nick Jackson once said.
Go for a milk or two.
Still love them.
Got it.
Go.
Anyway,
Go.
so I think so. Anybody else want to argue for Undisputed Era?
I can try, but I feel like I'm not going to win.
Yeah, no, I feel like we're outnumbered. All those in favour of
Alex will
Undisputed
shoot me
Era.
down.
Only two of them. All those in favour of the Young Bucks. Yeah, that's
That's right.
4 to
Is
that's
right,
4 to 3.
Josh. Take it away.
Oh, do I have to do the announcement?
No,
You-
it doesn't.
The
Let him
era,
do it, he's good at it.
the Ring of Honor ring announcer. This is your main event. Step forward, Paul. Introducing first.
That's not what we wanted. What did you say? Anyway, Young Bucks lads, it's in the
Say
post.
it.
And I
And Nick Jackson, the Young
Can
Bucks.
I do the Japanese announcer one?
That was it.
Nico Jackson! Matt Jackson!
California.
I love it when the
New
Japanese
York.
announcer's saying it and you can just see him just be like, oh, it's time. Like when you know when it's.
Cactus Jackie. Terry Frank.
Naito Tetsuya Kenny Omega.
Because they have the English one and he's like, from California, the Young Bucks. And then they get in the ring, he's like, Matt Jackson!
It's just like
Sometimes you can't tell the
Ishii
difference between when
Tomohiro.
they say Matt and Nick. So
Yeah.
you only know what they're saying through who the camera cuts to dead quick.
You see Carl Anderson's entrance in New Japan?
No.
He'd like do like, the machine gun! And he'd go, and they'd play a sound and it goes, oh! And then he'd go,
Get
and
in the
he'd play,
blue
he'd
stable.
play in the sound and he'd
That's
go,
fantastic.
Carl Anderson!
Moving swiftly on
for you,
from
Santa.
racism. Next up is mark out moment of the year.
So fucking
Candy,
ready for this.
what have you got, son?
I've got two.
I've got two.
Unfortunately, Kieran was only present for one of them. It wasn't actually this year, it was about 1994. It was Mark Miro.
The Wild Man.
Almost Mark Miro hitting a shooting star press. I was 4 beverages unspecified.
This is for a Pints and Power Drivers episode, which will be released very soon. Honest to God, it was the best thing ever.
Mark Miro, he got to the top rope and I was like, he is not doing a shooting star press here, is he?
It's like you getting drunk and watching wrestling. Oh, I want to be a part of that.
He hit it perfectly. I've never seen it before from Mark Miro. I was like,
The most boring
I fell off the seat. I was like, I can't believe it. Anyway,
amazing.
that's not my pick.
Okay. It's a worthy mention, though.
Only because it didn't happen this
I
year.
forgot about that. Really
No,
good.
my mark-out moment was in Altrincham. It was seeing Kazuchika Okada
Oh, yes,
live
mate.
in person.
Yes, mate.
I
We were the.
I'm inclined to agree.
No, I'm inclined to agree.
was
That
a
was my
beautiful
special.
moment.
My
That's
special
cool.
The
mention
music
was
hit,
also.
the rain, like, oh, he's here! We're gonna be in the same
And the thing is
airspace.
that his match was a thing of beauty.
Oh,
It was very
like
amazing.
it literally
It
delivered.
was Sabre Junior, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah,
With the pile driver spots.
everything.
It's like, oh.
I have never seen counters quite like that.
Like Sabre Junior
ev-
as well, to be fair.
I know, but like I
Both
feel like
guys
they
are so
both
good.
had good chemistry anyway.
Yeah. And we marked out huge when Sabre Junior won.
I think that's
Like,
one of the
what
best.
the
Yeah.
fuck just happened there?
Yeah,
That's been like one of the best wrestling shows I've been to. I've been to like
it
2
was
Ring of Honor
the best.
shows.
Yeah,
It was
it's
the
the best
best
one.
wrestling show I've
Walter
been
was.
to in
I
my
fucking
life.
love Walter. I know you don't like Walter, but I fucking love
I like what?
Josh, your mark out moment of the year.
Jericho showing up at All In. 'Cause it was
Oh,
just
yes,
like,
mate.
So
yeah.
I was thinking, oh,
Yes,
it's gonna be
mate.
Neville. It's gonna be Neville. It's just Jericho. I was like, oh. And I was-
It's just Jericho.
It's more, but like the way he did it was like under a mask.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was really cool. I think it was one of those moments where it's like, oh, Penta's got. Why's he got a different? Why's the company's got a different uniform? Hang on, why's he got tattoos? And it was just like.
Why is Penta such a
Legit,
big
I seen the
Aussie
tattoo.
fan?
Like, I recognise that shit tattoo.
And then it was
Yeah.
like, but I think for most people, it was when he hit the code breaker.
Yeah.
And like the pop in that building was fucking
I was so
amazing.
drunk and I just like threw my pint in.
Fucking amazing. Willow, mark out moment.
So special mention to you've mentioned All In.
Yeah.
Lanny Poffo.
Ah!
Yeah.
I was like the genius of glory and
managing
renown.
Jamie Paul.
So I've got two.
Okay.
I've got Altrincham,
Yeah.
where fucking Suzuki won the
Oh,
fucking belt. I was
amazing.
like, yes. Also special mention to the camel clutch.
Would this be the camel clutch that you put in on me on my 22nd birthday?
No, the camel clutch that we saw in Altrincham.
Oh, remember you lost
Um,
using your shit, yeah.
And then my actual mark-out moment is, if anyone who has me on Snapchat will know, Hulk Hogan returning
Yeah.
at Saudi Arabia. Oh, so fucking yes.
Like,
Fucking
brother.
I fucking love the whole
That's a nice little predictable. It was fucking Taker and Cena at Mania.
No.
I'd agree. I was drunk
Because
and
I was
like,
expecting Barras Taker and I didn't really want it.
And you got it.
Didn't you?
Yeah,
got dead,
One,
man.
yeah,
like-
that's cool. That's cool. Alex, mark out moment of the year.
So I've got two. I feel
Okay.
like one can be an honourable mention, which is going to be All In, Joey Ryan coming out.
Oh,
His
God, right.
entrance.
Sorry, gotta tell you this story because it's relatable.
Amazing.
So, I interviewed Jeff Jarrett and right.
When
but I
was
asked-
that? The
Again.
Jeff Jarrett.
The Jeff Jarrett.
Tranmere Rovers.
Double
fan.
shade,
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Double
Wow.
So, no, but as I asked Jeff Jarrett, I asked him, like, what was the atmosphere like backstage at All In? Because obviously he was there with Nick Aldis in the end, and in his corner with the NWA title. And I was, so what was the atmosphere like backstage? He was like, it was the weirdest thing because I was stood backstage and we were watching, they had the monitors on the screen. And I'm stood there, and I'm stood next. I can't remember. It might have been MJF or something. He was stood next to, and also stood next to a giant inflatable penis. I was just like, oh shit, yeah. It popped in. It's just like I don't think I ever expected in my life to be stood at a wrestling show next to a 6'2" inflatable white cock.
Do you know what
So,
made it
yeah.
that much better? Was how much heat Joey Ryan then got off
so many
none
people.
other than Jim Cornette.
I think it was worth it.
No, amazing heat.
Heat.
It was perfect because Joey Ryan's gimmick matched that perfectly, and it was just the best thing that I've ever seen. Oh my
Apart
fucking
from
God.
Apart from that,
Which is a picture of
However, because I feel like All In is something that most people will be like, maybe say that they aren't really seen, it's only really what true marks watch. I'm going to have to go for Charlotte defeating Asuka's streak at WrestleMania. Felt really unexpected, really well timed, and if anyone could have done it, it was Charlotte Flair.
fair play.
And I really wanted it to as well.
Croft agrees. Croft has also gone for Charlotte beating Asuka. And he says, Charlotte beating Asuka was fucking mental, and I didn't expect it to happen. Having seen Asuka throughout NXT, I was convinced she was winning this one. Mine, I'll give an honourable mention to when Suzuki won the Rev Pro Undisputed British Heavyweight title belt in Ultimate. It was a beautiful moment. But I've gone for a nice little humble one, which won't win, but it was when Ray returned at the Royal Rumble. Because I was going back and listening to listening to all the shows from earlier this year to put on the compilation for the start of next year. And I was listening to that reaction. I was just like, man, I marked out so hard for that. So, we've got a kind of a tie between a personal one, which was us lot in Manchester, a lot of things happening in Manchester, and Asuka and Charlotte would seem.
I feel like it's
our show, so we can fucking vote for Manchester if we wanted to.
I feel like that was, but I feel like that
We were
was
all there.
apart from
Pete.
and Croft.
I wouldn't say the Charlotte thing. I wouldn't really mark out. It was like a okay.
Yeah, I didn't mark. It wasn't.
I marked out
It was
the
like,
minute she
ooh.
came out in gold because I had the feeling.
I'd
The
argue
minute I
that.
saw her gear, I was like, she's winning this. And I remember all you lot going, there's no way. You was all going, it'll be close. And I was going, nah, I won't wear gold gear unless I'm winning. And then everyone was like, nah, there's no way.
My original pick was going to be Shinsuke turning heel at Mania because I was more shocked by that, really. But
That was a big moment. It just turned to shit.
yeah, exactly.
it's more about having that.
Oh, I don't speak English.
English.
That
Fantastic.
could have been segment of the year for that.
I didn't think of that.
Anyway, so I think are we going for like just Aldringham
Just the night.
the night in general. So
See
Rev
Big
Pro
Walter.
and New Japan for Strong Style Evolved 2018 for the Manchester Aldringham show. Congratulations, you have won mark out moment of the year.
I have never quite marked out like that.
It was
Rev Pro New Japan. It's in the
From
post.
start to finish, great show.
It was phenomenal.
The only thing that would have made it better is if the Young Bucks was there. But no, they decided to do a show in Florida.
Bastards.
It was meant to be on that show.
Where's that Tag Team of the Year award?
It's
Get it
getting
back.
sent
Give it to
right
Undisputed
back.
Era. So next up is for Best Feud.
Oh, I've
Candy.
really struggled with this.
I have mentioned these two a fair bit this year, but I've gone with Kazuchika Okada versus Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Oh, have you know?
I have indeed. Because
do tell me why.
I shall. Good. Well, obviously they've got a feud which has been going on since 2012, and this year it had the match where Okada broke the record for most successful defenses, which was previously held by Tanahashi. He beat Tanahashi to get the record. Then they had the G1 match, which went the full half-hour draw, and then they had to have, once Tanahashi had won the G1, they had another rematch where it's like, right, this is to prove who is the better man and who shall go on to main event Wrestle Kingdom. And like this was kind of the same region where Okada was slightly losing his mind. So him losing to Tanahashi kind of made sense. It wasn't really a step back that like, oh, he's now got worse than Tanahashi or Tanahashi's got better. It's like Tanahashi has improved his game, and also Okada is going a bit mental.
A bit insane.
Yeah. And also, all great matches.
All great matches. Josh, who
Gargano and Ciampa.
Nice.
It's been built up for like a year. It's been, all of it's been good.
All of it's been good. Willow, feud of the year.
I've sort of gone for Gargano Ciampa,
Okay.
but I want to give an honorable mention to Jericho and Naito.
Nice. Very nice, very nice. Peace.
I've also got for Gargano and Ciampa.
Gargano and Ciampa.
Me too.
Gargano and Ciampa. Croft has also gone for Gargano and Ciampa. And I've also gone for Gargano and Ciampa.
Hey.
So I just want to read out Croft's thing before we declare it. So, Ciampa versus Gargano is one of the best feuds of the past decade, hands down. Built organically and versatile enough to be moulded by other factors and include other top stars like Aleister Black. It's been consistently entertaining and shows no sign of getting stale yet. We'll see what happens in 2019. Gargano and Ciampa, best feud of 2018. Lads, it's in the post. That was nice. That was a nice quick little jaunt through best feud. And on to the best female wrestler of 2018. Candy, who have you got?
I have got for Alex's favourite, Ronda Rousey.
Fuck off.
His favourite.
Really?
I thought you were going to say Chelsea Green then, and I was going to.
Hot mess. Yeah.
Chelsea Green. Josh.
Charlotte.
Bocky.
Becky Lynch.
Also gone for Blocky.
Becky Lynch.
I think even the Bocky is very good now. Honourable mention to Chelsea Green, by the way, since I did just mention her.
Okay.
But it's still going to be Charlotte. She's still the best.
I've also gone for Charlotte, but Croft has gone for Shayna Baszler.
Oh, that's a good pick. She's really good.
His thingy is. Yeah. Lol. So he's gone. Shayna has taken to wrestling like a duck to water. She looks legit and backs it up both in the ring and surprisingly on the mic too.
Nothing to do with the fact she was an amateur wrestler before.
What? Yeah, I think Shayna's a good shout, but I don't think you can really argue how good Charlotte is.
Charlotte's very good.
I think she looks like a champion. You know what I mean? Like.
She's a flirt, of course. She looks like a champion.
No, but even still, like Tamina doesn't look like a champion, does she?
Like, I don't like Charlotte, but she's a very good wrestler.
But like, what the fuck did Jimmy Snooker ever win?
A court case.
Excuse me, Jimmy Snooker was the first ever ECW champion.
I still don't think she's got as good talent and moves and as good.
It's not 16-time world. It's not 16-time world.
Do you know what I
titles.
mean?
Yeah.
But I would say that, like with Charlotte, when Becky comes out, she looks like a badass. But when Charlotte comes out, she looks like a champion. She oozes champion. Like
she does look like very proud.
Like the minute she comes out, and I don't think it's got anything to do with the fact that she's Ric Flair's daughter. I think that obviously helps, but I don't look at her as Ric Flair's daughter anymore. I look at her as Charlotte Flair. And when she first came, I was like, oh my, when she was like quite, do you remember when she was like real skinny when she first came up? Like, I was like, oh my god, that's as if that was Ric Flair's daughter, that's mental.
Yeah.
I don't look at her as that anymore.
She has stepped out of the shadow now.
She does look like a star. I'll give her that.
Does.
She does look like a star.
Yeah, so I think, I mean,
Who did
as
we
much
pick
as...
last year?
Asuka. But I think that fits in quite nicely with with Charlotte defeating the streak, and she now takes her place as best female wrestler of the Markys.
I suppose, yeah.
She got a lot of nominations last year, but I shot them all down. We went with Asuka.
You did. I was expecting you to do the same with best male wrestler as well. If I can think I know who it is.
I reckon you don't.
Maybe not. Anyway, so we're going with Charlotte. Is that kind of
I suppose
somewhat
so.
unanimous?
I think Becky's had a great 4 months.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. But I think Becky's great, but I still don't think she's as good wrestling wise and as good on the mic wise. You know what I mean?
Oh, she definitely. I think
She
she's
just
got
looks.
good on the
She just
mic.
looks like a badass. She's just got a good gimmick, but
It is yet to have like the
there's
blow away
blow off,
match.
yeah.
Is yet to have that like, oh my god, all right, okay, fair enough, here we go. Whereas Charlotte's had several.
Well, Becky has had those matches, but with Charlotte.
Yeah,
Exactly.
actually,
yeah.
the only match that I would say that Becky has had that type of match with, which wasn't with Charlotte, was on NXT against Sasha. It was like the
but that
match
wasn't
that like
this year, though, was
saved her.
And
It was the
who
match that
is-
saved her career.
When have you ever seen Charlotte have a bad match? Like
Yeah.
when it's been a big blow off match, she pulled a good match out with Naomi, Aaron Asuka. Aaron she fucking even managed to carry Nikki Bella for fuck's sake. Even Aaron Ronda, like that was the best match I've seen Ronda Rousey ever since she's come to the main roster. She can
'Cause it was
carry
with
anyone.
Charlotte.
Because she can
'Cause
carry
it's with
anyone.
Charlotte. So, are we in agreement?
Yeah. I suppose
An
so,
agreement.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2018 Best Female Wrestler of the Year for the Markys is Charlotte Flair. Charlotte, it's in the post.
If I heard that saying one more time, I'm going to smack you.
You've got to hear it 3 more times. So, next up is the Best Male Wrestler for 2018. Candy, who have you got?
I want to know who you think that I've got.
I think
Okada.
No, I think
Oh,
it's got
Kenny,
Kenny.
maybe.
It's got Kenny. Go on, who have you got?
I've got the person that Alex picked for breakout wrestler, Cody Rhodes.
Do you really?
Don't blame me.
Really?
He's been ROH 6-man tag team champs with the Young Bucks for 3.5 months this year. He was Ring of Honor World Champion at the end of last year. He faced Ibushi at Wrestle Kingdom 12, which
Great match.
led into the whole leadership role over Bullet Club between him and Kenny, which resulted in the Golden Lovers getting back together. He's also had 2 heavyweight championship matches this year, both against Kenny. So he's been in the top title picture in New Japan. He's now the US heavyweight champion. He was the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and we can't discredit the effect that he had in All In.
Yeah, very
The
true.
biggest show of the year, sold over 10,000 tickets in under half an hour.
Fair enough, yeah.
He was a huge part of that, and now it looks like they're stepping up to perhaps run their own promotion.
Yeah, fair play.
I agree with that.
Josh, who have you got?
Pete Dunne. He's just, I never really had a bad match in the next thing. It's like, he's very good. Live and just in general.
Fair play, fair play. Willow?
I've gone for AJ Styles. He's had some pretty shitty feuds this year, but he's always managed to come out of them like still, on top. Basically, Shinsuke came out of that feud worse, but it didn't really damage AJ too much. And now he's having a good feud with Daniel Bryan. So I think
Yeah.
fair.
Fair.
Solid champion.
Pierre.
I've gone for Seth Rollins.
Okay, interesting.
Start of the year, that fucking gauntlet match he was in, like
Yeah.
over an hour.
Fuck, I forgot about
And
that.
then,
Oh my god, that is why I picked
and then ever since then, he's been pretty damn consistent.
Yeah.
Belter feuds with Miz and Ziggler. I think he's been the most consistent this
Probably
year.
his triple threat opener to Mania is probably the best match on the card. Well, one of the best matches on the card.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad shout. Alex.
I echo all of Pete's sentiments. I have also gone for
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins, not just because I want to fuck him. Genuinely, he hadn't had a bad match, and when he did the Iron Man and he lasted like an hour and just piled through everyone, it was boss. I remember watching that live actually because I stayed up for a Raw one night for no reason, and because I think I won't very well, and I was thinking, oh my god, this is boss. It made me feel better.
I thought you meant everyone's favourite Iron Man match against Ziggler.
Oh.
I forgot about that.
Oh my god.
It's 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Put the fucking buzzer back.
Croft has gone for Drew McIntyre.
I thought it would.
Drew has proven himself in NXT and on the main roster in spades. He's got a ton of talent and is likely to see much more success in 2019. Titles don't mean everything, but he's already won a world championship. And at the moment is one of a very small group of men on the roster who could realistically dethrone Brock. It's not bad.
Fair play.
Not bad. I've gone for Kenny Omega because not only did he finally become the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion this year, he consistently had outstanding matches at the G1. I need to clear my throat. Had amazing matches at the G1. Topped it off with a beautiful match with Ibushi, and who can forget that Dominion rematch against Okada? Beautiful, blissful.
Kieran,
It's phenomenal.
I
say just us.
love how much emphasis you put on every other word.
You should be a wrestler with that.
Tiny
role.
fit.
Like,
can't you?
I actually love it.
That's, well, 2-1 in theatre performance. That's what gets you, folks.
Well, sorry, God. Fucking hell. Because I do theatre
So
tech
impressed.
well.
Pete was like, yeah.
That don't impress me.
Pete's reaction to everything I
Kiss
say.
your cock at night.
Yeah, so I'd argue Kenny Omega.
Kenny!
So who out of these lists, have we just named?
I'd
can
eliminate Drew.
I'd eliminate Dunn.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, Drew and Dunn, yeah.
That's fine. Fuck his off.
I'd say AJ as well. He's not had as good of a year as other people have been. Yeah, he was champion for most of it, but
His best year was 2016. So far.
he hasn't been. He's been. I don't know. There's just been something off.
There's been something off about it, but you can't really dispute it.
You can't blame that on him.
You
That's
can't.
for the booking, but at the same time, he does also have a say in what goes on in those matches, and they haven't been as good as other people have been putting on. Which is, you know what I mean?
I think the amount we've shit on him and Shinsuke this year,
Just
you
tarnished
can't
it.
have
Yeah.
him then win
Yeah, best
no
wrestler of the year. Absolutely. I think Seth's not a bad shout at all.
Seth is by far the most consistent person that WWE have.
I think if there was ever to rely on anyone for a good match, like, so, you know, like, just say, for example, you know, if the person that you was supposed to be main eventing pulled out, and you was like, oh my god, shit, we need a replacement, you'd instantly think Seth Rollins because you know he'd pull a good match out of anybody.
Yeah.
Same way Charlotte.
Same way.
Evidently they thought of Shane McMahon for a certain other thing that happened, but never
Oh
mind.
yeah, why did no one have
Technically,
Shane
yeah, why
McMahon?
We shouldn't even be arguing.
They had a tournament and declared it Shane McMahon.
So Shane, it's it. No, it's not.
James in the post.
No, it's not. Yeah. So we're down to Cody, Seth, and Kenny. Realistically,
I'd agree with Cody.
Cody.
Yeah.
See, I'd still think like Kenny's had better matches. and he's the
Kenny's had
wrestler.
better matches.
He's the better
Kenny's
wrestler.
had better
By
matches,
far the
but
better
I'd
wrestler,
say
but in terms
overall,
of the bigger impact.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's not the. That's
Overall.
not the, if that's not what the category is. The category is best wrestler, best
No,
male
it's
wrestler.
male wrestler of the year.
Yeah, best male wrestler of the year.
Yeah, but it takes
So the-
more than just wrestling to be a good wrestler.
Well, Kenny Omega cuts a boss promo as well. And then in which case, like, you're arguing that Cody makes a phenomenal promoter because of what he did at All In, and yeah, belting.
Well, he didn't promote it.
Well, he did
He kind of did.
because he put it on and promoted it.
Not him personally, it was Ring of Honor.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
It wasn't.
It was.
All In was him and the Young Bucks. That's the promotion.
It was.
You know who do you think financed it?
No.
It was Ring of Honor.
It was.
No,
It was Ring of Honor.
It wasn't.
It was
All
Ring
In.
of Honor.
It really
I
was.
swear to God, it was Ring of
Mate,
Honor.
it wasn't. It was
Yeah,
All
but I
In.
have Russian coke apparently.
It was. Yeah.
Dear
It was.
Bees.
I mean, fair enough if you want to believe that, but you are lying.
I didn't even know that.
Find out.
Yeah. No. He promoted it
Was it Spanish?
and ran the whole show himself. Why do you think his match was on midway through? So he could
That's
sit
not
backstage and
Spanish,
control the rest of the
Polish.
matches that happened. And
That's why the Young Bucks were on last as well, and
Yeah.
that's why they only had 13 minutes to fit everything in, which is why.
Go home, go home.
Go home, no. And they just like went another like 8-9 minutes, but like that's why it ended on the
So
pinfall.
abruptly. Yeah.
Like, you know, like instead of having the big celebration, they had the big celebration.
All
at the
In
end.
was an independent professional wrestling pay-per-view event promoted by Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks from Bullet Club.
Stunned.
Stunned silence.
Your silence speaks volumes.
Ring of Honor they had the world
Ring of Honor,
champion,
like, provided wrestlers, but something
Yeah.
like Impact and Lucha
and they
Underground and Japan.
promoted it on Ring of Honor like a lot.
He's like furiously
They
scrolling.
did, they did.
They did. Willow, they did. I'm sorry to break this to you.
You're thinking of Final Battle there, mate. That was a Ring of Honor.
That was
I
Ring of
believe
Honor.
you're thinking of the Jericho Cruise.
Speaking of the Jericho Cruise, he's literally just announced Jericho Cruise 2.
Has he?
Yeah.
Just now. Oh.
Just now.
Well, there you go.
I'll say that. Like,
Right,
must
so
have been like 10 minutes
anyway.
ago.
So back to topic. So Cody as a promoter, belting, fair play. As a wrestler, Kenny Omega blows him and Seth Rollins out of the water.
He does. But it takes more than just in-ring ability to be named Wrestler of the Year.
Well, in which case then, when you look at his well, Kenny Omega's achieved more title-wise than either of them because he's achieved a higher accolade than either. He has, mic skills. You could argue between all three of them. Arguably, possibly giving that to Cody more than the other two. I think Seth's good, but he's not as good as Kenny. But then Cody is better than Kenny on the microphone. But then
Is
what
Seth
else?
not as good as Kenny, or is Kenny just facing better people?
No, Kenny's boss.
I might concede to Kenny. I think he's
Kenny had a
just fucking smashed it, hasn't he?
brilliant
Hasn't he?
match
Yeah.
with Toru Yano.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Toriano.
I think Kenny over Cody.
Yeah.
And
I'd say yeah.
So
Who did we have last
Kenny
year?
then. Last year was
Okada.
yeah, last year was
Yeah.
Okada. So this year I think it's
Yeah,
his
okay.
successor and it's
Yeah.
Kenny.
Yeah, okay.
Fair play.
Yeah, you've won me over.
fair enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2018 Best Male Wrestler, Kenny Omega. It's in the post. I flinched then. I genuinely thought I was going to smack. Jesus Christ! I'm getting threatened with my own pint glass here. Right, on to the...
I was giving you a shot.
Just go on.
Show.
So, final two categories. The next is the best show
You're gonna,
of
quickly change it.
2018. Candy, who have you got?
Who have I got?
Who have you got? What have you
all this
got?
with
Which
us.
show do you have?
I've got Dominion from June.
Oh, I knew you would have Dominion.
I think this was the easiest one to pick. The undercard was solid, but if you turn about the top half of the card, you got the Young Bucks versus Evil and Sonata,
Where they
who
won.
have had two fantastic matches this year.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
It's a
They-
step above
They
fantastic.
should have made more out of those two because
They are by far the best two tag
consistently
teams,
good
and
matches.
they were just having great matches, and the Young Bucks.
And they only had like
Young Bucks.
two. They didn't have many like
The fact could
that many
Almost
televised
called into
matches,
the
did they?
station.
No.
Yeah, but in New Japan they like to draw things
wind
out. They
was
don't
very
waste everything in
strong.
one go.
I know, but I
Control
would
a lot.
have wasted it.
You're wrong.
Then the next match you had Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
And
fucking
I
hell,
remember
yeah.
marking the fuck out for that.
Yeah, teaming with Tanahashi and Liger. So not
I
bad.
remember that.
Yeah.
Then the next match we had Hiromu Takahashi winning the junior heavyweight title back from Will Ospreay in a great match.
Oh, yeah.
Then the semi-main Jericho beat Naito to win
Yeah,
the
of course.
IC title in just a brutal match where we didn't even think it was going to start because he was just beating up Naito, didn't even get his suit off, and he was powerbombed from a table. And then the main event was Okada Omega, no time limit, 2 out of 3 falls, went 64 minutes. One of the best match, maybe the best match of the year. We'll see what happens in the next category. But to have all that in half a show, it was non-stop. It was just fucking fantastic. Fantastic.
Fantastic. Well sold. Josh.
Yeah, I've gone for All In.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I forked 40 quid out for that and it was great. It was worth every fucking penny.
Fair play.
But you've
Fair
actually
play.
paid it.
You actually paid for
to
it.
watch it, yeah.
You're a
I
brave
got the
man.
Fight TV app.
You're a better man than any of us.
Yeah, I give the Young Bucks money. That's what I did.
Like they need it.
Oh no.
Fucking hell.
I know, yeah. Motherfuckers. Willow, best show.
I've also gone for All In / the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Because I thought that actually, the Royal Rumble was actually good this year.
Yeah, Royal Rumble was good.
Was it not just good because we was doing what chocolate bar are you there?
What bar? Right,
Sorry,
just because we were ripping off OSW.
I mean,
Live on
I actually quite enjoyed it. I
enjoyed
remember
it as
thinking when I finished watching it, going, actually, that was
It was
Was
a good show.
that the infamous triple threat with Kane? Was that on this
It
year?
was.
Yeah,
It
it
was. Oh, this is. Oh, it's back in the race now. Oh, all bets are off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a highlight of the year. Pete.
I went for War Games too.
It was a good show. I said this earlier, but Keane went, oh no.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you did say that.
Actually,
I'm
that's
saying
about
to
the
Pete.
War Games match.
It's.
and,
It,
No, no.
It was a good pay per
I
view.
thought it was good.
It was a good pay per view. Alex.
I would agree with what Candy said and go for Dominion, because I personally really liked it. But I think with any Dominion,
It's the second biggest show of the year.
yeah,
You kind of want it to be
you're
good.
expecting it to be good. So for that reason, I went for All In because
Because no one thought that would be good.
but we didn't know if it were going to
Yeah,
be good
yeah.
because it was the first one, and to set the bar that high on the first ever show and there was, as much as we was all going, oh, it's going to be Boss, it's going to be Boss, there was people going, they're not going to do it, they're not going to pull it off, and they did. And they did a pretty good job of it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the matches, every single match was great, especially the women's match, like unbelievable. That inspired me to go training, literally.
Didn't they botch the finish?
They did watch the finish, but because that was the ref's fault though, because they ran out of time. The ref kept telling them to go home.
I just remember. I don't remember what the actual botch was. I just remember that.
Someone
match
went- someone
it was
broke
so
up-
good until I was like, oh,
Someone
that's a
broke
shame.
up the finish, but the ref counted 3 and was like, no,
Oh,
finished.
Oh, they had fucking
Yeah.
Emma on commentary.
Only for the women's match.
Yeah, that's it. They're like, crikey, that was a heck of a suplex.
I just thought it was really good.
$900 dues. Bias.
Excellent main event, even though they
I'd
only
pay
had
top
12
dollar they got him
minutes.
David Boreanaz's house.
To have a main event that good when you've only been given 12 minutes, when realistically I think it was like it was rumoured that it was meant to have at least 40 minutes for that match.
Wow.
So they had to think on your feet like that you've got to cut out over half your spots,
Because
and
Markys
then
match went over with.
Yeah.
and then
About
try and
13
fit
minutes
your,
over.
Worth it though.
and then try and fit your spots in that time.
When
Like-
you're trying to communicate with Spanish and Japanese people.
Yeah, I think that hats off to him. And the penis entrance, Joey Ryan.
Hangman
I
Page's
fucking
entire
skipped
I mean,
that.
that
I
just-
fucking skipped
Oh, did you-
that.
What?
Did you?
Yeah, fucking hated it.
What?
Yeah.
The entrance?
Yeah.
Willows corner.
Yeah, I thought it was fucking
He's a traditional man,
So Pete has left the room and Croft has
Not been in the room.
not been in the room, but he has sent me his nomination for best show of the year, and he has gone for Takeover New Orleans.
Oh, good show.
It was
It's a lot of
fantastic.
match.
Well, Croft is about to tell you in his own words. Had a lot of great matches, including the best match of the Gargano Ciampa feud so far, IMO. Black versus Almas, and the superb North American title ladder match. There's a reason this card got 2 5-star matches, entertaining from start to finish. I'm surprised that we've gone this long without mentioning any of Dave Meltzer's ratings. Normally we're a good
True, yeah.
5 minutes in before we've mentioned
5-star Lars. in that match.
Dave Stars.
Stars.
Mentioned Davy Boy Stars.
Uncle Dave.
Big bad Dave. But yeah,
Have you interviewed MK?
who Dave Meltzer?
Met him.
No, I've met him.
Oh, I've met Dave Meltzer.
I've met Dave Meltzer.
He shook his hand.
I did. And made a hilarious quip about Rich Swann, and he retorted. He was like, it's like this is like Rich. He was like Rich Swann was wrestling like his 3rd match of the day or something like that. He'd done 2 matches in the Rev Pro Super J Cup, and then was wrestling for Impact as well. And he was like, and he was just like, this is like his 3rd match of the day, and I just went, it's probably like his 18th of the weekend too, and he laughed and just went, yeah, something like that. I was just like, yeah.
All laughing. 3 words. Something like that.
He laughed.
I was laughing at the fact that you built it up only to go, something like that.
Dave Meltzer chuckles.
Something like that.
Plans change.
Anyway, I've also gone for All In because I just remember watching it and finishing it and still being super excited about it like 3 days later.
I was sad when it was over.
When
I
Candy-
never get like that after a
I genuinely think like when we reviewed that show, it was the most passionate and most excited I've been about a wrestling show in a very long time.
I sat
Since
back on my
Dominion.
fucking brilliant.
Yeah, since altering him.
I honestly was like, like at the end of a pay-per-view where even if it was such a good pay-per-view, like even like WrestleManias where you think, oh my god, thank god that's over, that lasted ages. Like this, I was actually upset when it finished. I was like, no, why is it ended? Like and I'm not just saying that because I only got to see 13 minutes of the Young Bucks, but like I was genuinely,
But you are.
but I was genuinely upset that it ended.
If
Do you
in
know what I mean?
Dominion you get 2 more minutes of the Young Bucks. 15 minutes there, match went.
I think he looked
I did
different for the
watch it.
times. It's like, well,
I was on Wikipedia.
I was watching it actually the other day, and I stole some spots from there.
do you have
There you
do you have New Japan Punkler?
No. Watch wrestling.in.
Candies.
Watch wrestling.in.
Bar Candies. But so show of the year. It would seem that All In has a sweeping declaration
I think-
here. And I think for how historic it was, it does deserve it. I'm not taking anything away from Dominion.
I was going to say, I think
Or
Dominion is a good
even like take over
place.
War Games or New Orleans. New Orleans is phenomenal. It was such a good show. But I for how impactful All In has been so far and will continue to be, given what will possibly happen next year, we don't know at this point. What the future holds. I think.
I was quite happy with my pick for Dominion, and then when I saw All In on Josh's phone, I was like, "Yep,
That's All In.
that's
I
the
think
winner."
as well, I think as soon as it ended,
Bit of nude.
people was going on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram going, when's All In 2 happening?
Yeah.
That was the first thing. No one was bothered how good the show was. People wanted more. I have never finished a pay-per-view and thought, right, well, I can't wait for next year. I just think, oh, fucking hell, another pay-per-view. Like, I literally am counting
I
on the
wanted
days.
more. Yeah, I
till-
wanted more.
Yeah.
I wanted more. Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, your 2018 Markys winner for Best Show is All In. Lads, it's in the post. So, we come to our final. It's like fucking tradition. All right. Go over
It got tired last year as well.
I'm not going to do it next year. We do it for this last category, though. Which is Match of the Year. The highest prestige of a few good marks of the Markys. So, Candy,
Yes.
Match of the Year, por favor.
I struggled on this one simply because of the amount of. This is the first year I've watched the full G1,
Yeah.
and there were so many.
I think
good
I maybe
matches.
missed one or two shows.
Yeah,
but
so many great matches in this year's G1. But one that still stands out in the memory is Kenny Omega versus Tomohiro Ishii.
I've got that as well.
Oh, what a
I've got that as
match. What a match.
This was Omega's first loss of the tournament, and he went in super cocky, just knocking Ishii on the head.
Yeah.
Next thing, one forearm, and he's like, shit. It's like something's wrong here. And also his loss to Ishii setup is then lost to Yano, and then his loss to Ibushi is like all stemmed from this match, and like it's completely stiff. Kenny is busted open at the end of it. It's brutal. It's strong style really. It's if you want to see a New Japan style match, it's this one.
Yeah, I've got a smile on my face thinking about this match. It was fucking fantastic. Josh, what
I have Gargano versus Black from War Games 2018.
Oh, okay.
Because it was just like, I was expecting to be like, alright, but like, the fucking counter after counter. And it's just
Yeah,
like,
it was-
oh,
it was
fucking
good.
brilliant. Like,
It
I
was good.
marked out so much in that match.
It was good. Excellent. Willow?
Omega versus Ishii, but I will give a special mention to Jericho versus Omega as well.
Yeah,
That's
that
good.
was a very
That
good
was
match.
a really good
That
match.
was a very good match. Pete isn't in the room, so can't ask for his thing. Alex, match of the year
Charlotte versus Asuka.
for
Should have been the main event. Beat the streak.
Could have been.
Great match all round.
Fair Play.
Wanted more.
Croft has gone for Gargano versus Almas.
Ooh,
And he says, it is the best wrestling match I have ever seen, an absolute classic. In half an hour, they told the full story, and it was a masterful display of in-ring chemistry and ability. No rematches or rehashing of the same segments needed. This match had it all. Fair play. I have gone for Kenny Omega versus Okada at Dominion because holy fuck, what a match! I said this in our review, like that match, and as we've just said, that match went 64 minutes long. I had no notes for that match because I was engrossed from start to finish. I just didn't want to take my eyes off the screen to like even put down. Sometimes I'll even put them down like, holy crap, this is good, or this is amazing, or even try and put down a couple of spots in my notes. I had nothing for this.
That match had 2 breaks as well after the falls where you could have wrote stuff down.
Yeah,
You were
exactly.
no,
I was like,
I want
no.
to see this Gatos in one corner.
this
Ibushi's in the other corner.
the story that's going on, it was just absolutely phenomenal.
Amazing.
It
I almost-
doesn't even cut how good this match was.
Does this count for 3 amazings?
This
That's
is
how
amazing amazing.
I think the biggest thing with that match is because of the 3 matches that had come before. Everyone's like, oh, it's no time limit, it's not a free falls. This has to be the best match of all time. And the fact that a lot of people say this is the best match of all time.
It's so lived up
so
to
much
that
pressure
hype.
on those two to put on the greatest match. And
They did.
yeah.
Arguably, they did. Who the fuck lives up to that? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. I can't knock any of the other matches. Like Gargano and Almas was amazing. The Ishii and Omega was equally boss. I remember watching that, thinking it was fucking phenomenal.
Because they Charlotte and Asuka have the
Charlotte and
pressure
Asuka
because
was
it's at
brilliant.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly. And it was the Streak versus Charlotte and
Streak versus the
Charlotte.
other thing.
the other. Well, Charlotte's lineage and stuff. And I just think but I just don't think that you can take anything away from this match. I think this was literally the best match, not just of the year, as we've said.
I nearly put this match, but I thought everyone else will have it, so I won't.
I am quite surprised I'm the only one to have it. To be fair,
Because I thought you two would definitely put it.
I thought you'd put it, so that's why I was like,
Yeah,
I'm going to go for a different Omega match.
it's me being predictable, but am I wrong?
Not really.
Not particularly, no.
And then, to please Alex, I had the Young Bucks come out at the end as well, and they celebrated, and it's the formation of the Golden Elite.
The Golden Elite.
More merch money.
Yeah, all the money in the world. And then it's now formed the Elite, which is all the money in the world. So yeah, is that, are we in agreement?
I'm happy
Anybody
to
else?
concede
I'm happy to concede
Omega
to it, yeah.
Okada 4.
Anything else to say on about?
I agree.
Fair enough. Ladies and gentlemen,
I
your...
think Pete agrees too, don't you, Pete?
Oh yeah, Pete agrees.
And I
Yeah,
think
Pete agrees.
Croft would also.
Yeah, sorry Pete, you've sorry Croft. I'm sure you'd have fought your point well, but
Can we also say that Okada and Omega have now won both Markys? They won match of the year last year.
they have.
And this year.
Yeah, it's a strong showing for 2019. Can they continue it?
The streak.
The streak continues. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2018 Markys winner for Match of the Year is Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada at Dominion. Lads, it's in the post.
Fuck off, Kieran!
To go with yours from last year.
There we go. Just before we wrap things off, just like to give a little wrap up on the year of a few good marks. Just written a couple of things down because it's been our first full year
Someone's
doing
has
this.
to be up at 5 tomorrow, Karen.
So here we go. So yeah, me.
Tomorrow.
We've had 27 A Few Good Marks episodes, 7 recent developments, 4 New Japan specials, and 1 Pints and Pile Drivers. Well, we've recorded another one which has not been released yet.
Oh, right, so it doesn't come on.
Only one released. And of course, we celebrated our 50th episode and have gained a brand new member.
Hello, everybody.
We officially now have more members and subscribers, I think.
That may be sadly true. However, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening and joining us throughout 2018. We will see you in 2019. Have a very happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
See yous. Bye.
Feliz Navidad.
Bye.
Feliz Navidad.
Fuck you.